So my name is Samantha Faye Ignacia, also known as the Vocal Orange, and I was born with something called multiple sclerosis. And basically 1 out of 1,000,000 babies get born with this kind of condition. It's an autoimmune disease and whatnot, which makes me a PWD. And I could explain to you everything about multiple sclerosis, the symptoms, what I go through, and all that jazz. But I feel like this is something you can easily Google online, and Wikipedia is a very good source for that. So we're going to talk about my life mostly. What made me an artist. And we could start off with when I was a baby. And when I was a baby, I was pretty, weird. I think a lot of creative kids tend to be a bit of a weird oddball. And I get kind of misunderstood a lot. But, that's okay. That builds character. But yeah, it did kind of make it difficult for me as a kid. Because I was a little bit weird. And I've already established that. I keep saying I'm weird. I'm weird. So, when I was a kid, I used to have a hard time with, I think I had a bit of a lisp. And I didn't know how to do grammar properly. And my dad was very strict about that. He never really taught me Tagalog. He mostly taught me English. And that kind of ended up with me not being able to communicate with most people. But that made me really good at writing. But, my dad was kind of a bit of a double standard kind of thing. Didn't want me to pursue that kind of career. But, I think we all are playing this game called life. And sometimes we just kind of miss. But, I had other interests. I also had phases in my life where I went through some questionable phases. And it was a way for me to just express myself, since I didn't feel like I could express myself the way my parents wanted me to. So I kind of just ended up having a confusion about my own identity. And I think this is a big part of being an artist, is just understanding how people just chip away at who you are sometimes. And sometimes it's because you let them, and sometimes because they do it without your permission. And growing up, being very impressionable, being very self-doubting, and just giving in to whatever other people wanted me to become. And I felt like I was losing myself, and I was losing who I was. And I think finding my own voice in whatever it is, writing, art, voice acting, helped me regain back what I felt like I've lost. Because I can't go back to how it was, but I can build upon what's already still here. And what's left is still beautiful in its own way, as long as we can fill up all the cracks and the edges with something more meaningful. And I feel like even if I felt like I didn't know what I am or who I was, I think all these things just brought me back together again. And I think that's what's beautiful about just being an artist and being me.